So we'll move to our partner showcase. Esri has partnered with organizations across Africa for decades, helping our users solve some of the continent's top challenges by providing high-caliber solutions, implementation services, and dynamic content, leveraging Arcgis technology across every industry imaginable. These partners amplify our impact by extending the reach of the science of where to help organizations unlock the full potential of GIS to advance the important work. In this session, we'll highlight just a few of our collaborators in Africa that have demonstrated subject matter expertise and unique capabilities with extending conservation solutions and providing consulting and implementation services to support your work in Africa.
Good day, everyone. My name is Michael Mole from Map Scientific Services, and today I'll be talking about how we as an organization implement Arcgis for protected area management and conservation. We know protected areas are faced with numerous ecological, social, and economic challenges, both inside and outside their management areas. They are mostly understaffed and under-resourced, all while operating at a large spatial scale. On top of this, the inclusion and management of data-driven monitoring workflows from multiple sources has become an expectation for most protected areas, placing significant pressure on management. Geospatial technology is an effective way to address these challenges at scale and under changing environments. It allows management to measure changes quickly, understand and analyze those changes in real time, and respond quicker and more effectively. And if implemented correctly, can take conservation to a whole new level. As an organization, it is our mission to help protected areas and conservation organizations leverage the use of geospatial technology for conservation. We do this as an implementation partner with Esri, and it is our vision to create the most technologically advanced parks in the world. So how do we go about doing this? Well, we're based in South Africa and we operate across most of Africa. As a team of ecologists and data scientists, we try to implement technology workflows with strong foundations in science and clear conservation objectives. We try to understand the environment and, most importantly, the problems and challenges faced by organizations and protected areas. We then design solutions around their current objectives and initiatives, such as security, tourism, and wildlife tracking. We then customize and implement Arcgis to optimize workflows for each of these initiatives, emphasizing data collection, visualization, and reporting. Lastly, we provide training and support to maintain the solutions for the long term. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, here I will show you how we have helped to implement Arcgis online platforms in two very different protected areas, one in Zambia called West Lunga National Park and another in South Africa called Babanango Game Reserve. West Lunga National Park is incredibly remote with limited staff and connectivity, so most of its core initiatives include security and active anti-poaching patrols across the reserve. They also have a number of satellite-collared animals they keep track of throughout the reserve. Understanding landscape impacts are important for them, particularly due to their large Miambo forests, so significant resources are placed into understanding forest loss throughout the park. Conservation is also about social upliftment, so they run several community programs with other organizations outside of the park boundary. In the form of an Arcgis online account, we have created one centralized geospatial solution for West Lunga, where management and staff can access applications, surveys, dashboards for viewing, and reporting tools for all their data workflows, monitoring, and management around all of their initiatives, all in one platform, all in one location. I'll now show you a few working examples. Here we have a dashboard tool used to manage anti-poaching patrols linked to security. The dashboard keeps track of the number of patrols undertaken across the reserve. The map also shows data such as poaching or hunting incidences collected from mobile devices using Survey 123 from rangers during those patrols. All the data collected during these patrols can be accessed and viewed on this application. With regards to satellite-tracked animals, management need to keep track of where certain animals are. Here we have created a live stream link between their satellite-collared animals and the solution, where data, regardless of the satellite manufacturer, can be stored in one database and accessed and viewed in real time with geofencing and alerts implemented, helping management with anti-poaching patrols, long-term research, as well as reducing human-wildlife conflict. Due to the large spatial scale and lack of manpower, we have also implemented a number of remote sensing tools for management to monitor landscape threats in the form of deforestation, fires, and human encroachment. Tools such as this can be used to access the latest satellite imagery, to detect changes, and allocate resources to specific areas of concern. Applications can also be built for collaborations with other NGOs working around the reserve. Here we have optimized a workflow for community outreach where beehives are leased to farmers and honey purchased from the farmers for economic benefits. Tools such as Survey 123 are used to collect data to keep track of farmers as well as the location of beehives, providing a tool and long-term database for the organization for more effective management of their programs. Now to Babanango. Well, Babanango has something very different. The reserve is very well connected with a very good network for wireless Sigfox and LoRa devices. This means their initiatives and objectives lean more towards the integration of IoT devices for security and live data streams. They also rely on technology for the management of infrastructure and assets linked to the reserve and the lodges. Lastly, they also run a number of ecology initiatives for wildlife monitoring as well as reporting. Similarly, the entire solution is based off of Arcgis Online, a single platform for all their data and tools to be accessed by management and staff. The reserve's management has implemented a large network coverage, enabling the use of a variety of devices for all sorts of applications. This includes fence alerts devices, animal trackers, weather station devices, devices for tracking the movement of assets, vehicles, and people. We integrated all of the data into applications to view live location feeds. For example, here we have access to the latest feeds for the location of priority species, the latest feeds for where trackers, rangers, and even vehicles were lost and where they have moved. We also have alerts linked to fence monitor devices distributed around the entire perimeter of the reserve. These are activated to send out alerts when the fence is disturbed or broken. We have also included workflows to respond to these alerts in real time, helping to not only record issues, but also optimize workflows for staff to respond to these issues and provide direct feedback to management over time. The network coverage also means that these live feed applications can be viewed anywhere and anytime by staff and management, even on their mobile devices. For infrastructure and assets, we have implemented various tools for data management, where staff can report issues linked to the maintenance of the reserve, facilities, and vehicles, optimizing workflows of logging issues, managing staff, and responding to issues in real time. Here we have an example of where someone has logged an issue for road maintenance in the reserve. Last but not least, reporting and long-term monitoring is important to evaluate the success or failures of initiatives. In Babanango, we have implemented various report-generating applications that allow managers to report on observations or incidences linked to any data collected in any initiative or workflow. Here, an automatic report is generated on incidences reported during the last month, showing the location and auxiliary data linked to those incidences. By leveraging geospatial technology in different ways, we have helped these protected areas overcome some of their biggest conservation challenges. I truly believe we are just scratching the surface of what is possible. The world is changing rapidly and protected areas are under threat. As a young, passionate company, we want to make a difference and help more protected areas become more resilient to these threats and changes. We believe we can do this by working with more organizations and management on the ground to implement geospatial technology more effectively. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate your time. Please feel free to contact us anytime. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Kent Berger. I'm the director of GIMS Botswana. I'd like to present some conservation solutions, or specifically some of the Esri conservation solutions that we've been implementing in Botswana as part of the Esri Conservation Summit. GIMS Botswana is a member of the Esri Partner Network as a bronze business partner. Esri's had a presence in Botswana since the late 1990s, or 2 decades of presence in Botswana. I am a member of the Society for Conservation GIS and have participated in the virtual and attended some of the conferences in California. And GIMS Botswana has worked with Esri South Africa in trying to promote a conservation community in Southern Africa, one of which is to try to grow the Southern African SCGIS chapter as service providers to the conservation community. GIMS Botswana currently has 10 Botswana to support Esri solutions in Botswana. We have an active professional development program that utilizes Esri's training program and Esri South Africa's education platform for GIS interns. This has resulted not only in our own staff development, but in a number of our staff members now moving on and working in our client base. So some of the sectors that are utilizing Esri's technology in Botswana, the government of Botswana, which covers both national and local government, has had an ELA that has been renewed 3 times. There are 2 universities that have taken advantage of the Esri Education Site License. Our focus in the private sector is with environmental and utility consulting firms, and in the mining sector where we have helped develop the Arcgis for mining solution. The nonprofits we work with are largely conservation oriented. This map is by National Geographic, one of the many Esri users working in the Okavango River Basin. Besides being a spatial locator, I think this map reflects the challenges conservation practitioners face today. That is how to scale across large landscapes with multiple users with varying interests and capabilities. Although much of this is a protected area, many of the sectors I just mentioned work in this area. Agriculture to promote rural livelihoods, mining for natural resource extraction, local government for social protection for the rural communities, to name some in addition to the conservation-based institutions. I would like this slide, or this presentation, to be relevant to the current situation in what has been called the Decade of Action for Sustainable Development, where we face change either due to extreme climate events or the dynamics of COVID variants across the globe. I presented this quote of Jack Dangermond at the beginning of this decade, right before the pandemic hit. 2 years later, I think with what is currently happening, the only change is we are in an exponentially changing world. I'd like to highlight the need for a platform to rapidly scale in the quote and present some of our work over this period as it relates to leveraging the Esri platform to address these challenges. I'd now like to present 2 of the conservation projects that we've been working on in Botswana. The first one is the Arcgis solution for protected area management. I think, as with all of the solutions that Esri offers, this sort of follows the 80-20 principle, where that 80% of the functional requirements are often already included and can be configured. But our experience is that managers often would like to see that 20% before they make a commitment to implementing the solution. So it's important that you try to work with the client base so that you can still configure the solution and not have to become too dependent on customizing that final 20%. So we've implemented, or are in the process of implementing, 2 of the elements of the protected area management solution. One is the wildlife monitoring, where we moved from a more device-specific paper-based workflow to one that is device agnostic, and then relies on the dashboard for presenting and summarizing the results. And we're currently updating a largely paper-based workflow for problem animal control to be able to use mobile devices and then the dashboards to report on the findings. Conservation planning is often the responsibility of separate institutions from others that utilize land for agriculture or natural resource extraction. Land allocation for these activities is often implemented by a land authority, which can result in isolated or incremental decision-making that has a negative impact on the potential to achieve conservation goals. So we've, over a number of years, have been implementing the Land Use Conflict Identification Strategy, or LUCIS. This is part of Esri's Geodesign. The authors and graduate students have participated in the Geodesign conferences, and this more or less references Carl Steinetz's design framework. LUCIS is a goal-oriented policy-related approach to integrating both physical and what I think is unique is economic suitability factors with stakeholder input to identify and address conflict before land allocation decisions are made. In many ways, this follows the concept of a digital twin, where you can model a decision before it is actually made. The approach, though, was largely desktop-based. So we are currently working to migrate to a web-based approach to facilitate working remotely with land use planners and engaging stakeholders without the use of paper to be more COVID compliant. This should allow conservation planning to ensure that the rural livelihoods are maintained while providing the opportunity for conservation-based economic diversification and maintaining animal access, not only for wildlife, but for domestic animals as well. So with that brief presentation, I'd like to thank Esri for giving us the opportunity to present. If there's any interest in what was presented here, you can contact us at the following two email addresses.
Hello everyone, my name is Esther Solomon. I'm the General Manager of Information System Services, ISS. ISS has been established in December in 1996 by two Ethiopian nationals, Mr. Johannes Debaba and myself. ISS provides GIS services which includes consultancy, training and software sales and support. The consultancy services focuses on organizations that use GIS as their main system or want to integrate it with their other systems. The training service includes on-the-job and classroom-type training that enables the effective use of GIS tools for managing and providing solutions. Our training facility is also Esri certified. Software sales and support service focuses on selling Esri products and solutions and includes installing and configuring desktop, enterprise and cloud-based products. ISIS has been an Esri distributor, reseller and business partner in Ethiopia since 1999. As ISIS is the first GIS service company in the country and has been in business for almost 25 years, it has contributed extensively for the development and use of GIS technology in many government organizations at a federal and regional level, NGOs and international organizations such as UNDP, UNECA, UNHCR, etc. that operates here in Ethiopia. Since its establishment, ISIS has been a majority women-staffed company. Most of the time, 75% of our staff are women. Recruiting women and providing them the skills to become highly qualified GIS professionals has always been a priority in the company. We give priority for women staff not only to support women empowerment, but also we found women to be more appropriate in our GIS services, since they are very diligent, loyal, and disciplined. At ISIS, we give a chance to internship for university students, especially for girls. ISIS has undertook some important projects such as land information systems for major cities including Addis Ababa, Diredwa, and Magale. We also have completed many projects in natural resources, agriculture, education, health, and many more industries. Regarding environment-related projects, ICES has participated in the Gambella Regional Integrated Land Development Project for the Horn of Africa Regional Environment Center and Network, HARCAN, in 2015. ICES worked with 13 experts in various fields in order to identify land for various activities such as crop production, rangeland, fisheries, honey production, wildlife, and tourism, etc., using GIS and remote sensing tools. Tasks done includes data gathering and structuring, computation of criteria using spatial analysis, image processing, and interpretation and production of maps showing optimal use of land for various purposes we produced. In this project, ArcGIS software that was dominated by Esri has been used. The software was donated by Esri to Addis Ababa University, and the Gambella project, which was the first master plan project at a regional level in Ethiopia, was also implemented using this software that has been donated to Addis Ababa University since this project was implemented via Addis Ababa University. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Greetings to you all. My name is Shuray Alhani, and I'm the founder of GIS Core. I'm here with Holly Torpy, GIS Core's program coordinator. We're here to talk about our organization's mission and projects. GIS Core was born almost 20 years ago. I believe that there was an untapped desire to give back among the GIS community, a willingness to do GIS for good. Together with like-minded colleagues and with the support of industry leaders like Jack Dangerman, we developed a framework for matching highly skilled volunteers with nonprofit organizations in need of short-term GIS support. We launched our first mission in 2004 in Peru, and I'm proud to say that we have launched 329 more projects in the years since. Over the course of those 330 missions, the GIS Core Committee has recruited volunteers to fill over 2,800 short-term roles for projects located in 80 countries. Together, these volunteers have contributed over 86,000 hours of service. GIS Core volunteers live in more than 130 countries around the globe. They come from different places and cultures, and they bring different skills and areas of expertise, but they all want to make a difference in the world. At the moment, we have more than 7,500 registered volunteers, and you can see the top 10 countries represented here. Each volunteer maintains a volunteer profile that highlights their unique set of skills, experience, and subject matter expertise. When we get a new volunteer request from a partner, we notify all the volunteers who meet the minimum requirements, interview the top candidates, and select the best volunteer for the job. Any nonprofit organization can request help from GIS Core. Just go to giscore.org, click on Request Volunteers in the top right corner, and fill out your partner form. Since 2003, GIS Core has provided volunteers to 162 different partner organizations. These organizations focus on a wide variety of areas, but some of the most common are fighting hunger and distributing aid, supporting public health initiatives, preserving species and habitat, cultural preservation, disaster response, education, and social justice. Alna, turn it over to Holly, who will provide more details about several of our projects. Holly?
Thank you, Sheree. GIS Corps has recruited volunteers for projects on 6 continents. We've conducted needs assessments in Mozambique, mapped health and education facilities in Sierra Leone, and taught GIS in Zambia. We've mapped public lands in the United States, developed training videos in Costa Rica, and helped share coral reef data throughout the world's oceans. Our volunteers can provide expertise for just about any kind of GIS project. We create data, crowdsource data, and clean data. We conduct needs assessments and spatial analyses. We make maps and tell stories. We develop applications, write scripts, and integrate systems. We build capacity and mentor staff. Most of all, we listen to what our partners need, help them develop a plan, and then find the best volunteers to make that plan a reality. Recently, we partnered with Esri, the National Geographic Society, the Southern African Wildlife College, and Peace Parks Foundation to support deployments of Esri's ArcGIS Online solution for conservation at parks and protected areas across Africa. 4 volunteers representing Canada, the United States, South Africa, and Singapore kicked off the partnership with 7 virtual training sessions for instructors and staff from the Southern African Wildlife College and Peace Parks Foundation. The instructors covered all aspects of ArcGIS Online administration, taught the attendees how to use ArcGIS Online for field data collection, map creation, and app development. Finally, they worked together to configure the components of the conservation solution for protected area management. 2 of the volunteers have signed on to continue providing remote support and mentorship for 2 years, helping the college as they weave this technology into their curriculum so the graduates of their diploma program will be empowered to deploy the solutions in parks and protected areas across Africa. In the future, trained GIS Corps volunteers will travel to African parks and protected areas to assist graduates of the college as they implement and customize the tools for their particular challenges and objectives. The volunteers will then provide 2 years of remote mentorship, answering questions and providing support as needed. If you'd like to learn more about volunteering or partnering with GIS Corps, we invite you to get in touch with us. You can email us at info@giscorps.org, or you can visit our website, giscorps.org. There you can read about our past projects, sign up to be a volunteer, and create your own volunteer profile, or request volunteer support for your nonprofit organization. We thank you for your interest in GIS Corps, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you to our presenters on that section. As you have seen, we have a number of partners that we worked with to support the deployment of our conservation solutions across Africa. But this is also complemented by a wide range of distributors, and we'll just go ahead to look at that. So we'll start with Esri Eastern Africa that supports our users in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Djibouti. For over a decade, Esri Eastern Africa has been providing working and innovative GIS solutions through partnership with world-leading geotechnologies and complementing these with customized training, implementation services, and technical support. Next, we have Geomatic, our distributor serving our customers in Morocco and Mauritania. Geomatic offers a wide range of GIS services to its customers, from distributing GIS software and related products to consulting and implementing a complete GIS solution. The company has a versatile and experienced technical staff with the skills required in implementation of GIS solutions while observing best practices. Our third distributor is Esri North Africa, with an active presence in Egypt, Libya, Sudan, South Sudan, and Chad. Esri North Africa is focused on bringing the latest GIS technology to its markets, raising geospatial awareness, supporting customers in building effective geospatial strategies, providing certified training, and establishing a strong support network to serve its users' needs in the region. They help their users in unlocking their data's full potential to allow them to make informed and timely decisions by leveraging the power of location intelligence and spatial analytics. Esri Rwanda supports our users in Rwanda, Burundi, and Republic du Congo. They are committed to serving government agencies, development partners and stakeholders, international organizations, NGOs, the civil society, and the private sector in achieving economic growth and sustainable development that is driven by unparalleled GIS capabilities in the countries they operate in. Esri Rwanda always seeks to a deep understanding of their customers' challenges and opportunities and works with them in developing viable solutions. Sambus Geospatial Limited is our distributor for West Africa, integrating technologies and providing a range of geospatial solutions to our users in the region. Sambus has a great clientele base within the government and private sectors and has leveraged on their expertise and technologies to successfully develop, deploy, and deliver customized solutions for governments, NGOs, enterprises, and allied industries, thereby enhancing planning and decision-making. And last but not least, we have Esri South Africa, a distributor for Southern Africa. Esri South Africa has over the last 30 years been a leader in the GIS industry across Southern Africa and has created a community of users which is rapidly growing as the tools and applications expand with an ever-changing demand. Esri Southern Africa's vision of simplifying decisions, making a difference, demonstrates their commitment and dedication to support their users in making a difference to the wider community. Esri South Africa is also passionate about the development of GIS skills across all communities and industries, and as such has implemented various education and community initiatives. As you've seen, the Esri distributor and partner network is ready to assist you with training and support across the African continent.